Marie Curie. Marie Curie, born Maria Sklodowska on November 7, 1867, in Warsaw, Poland, was a pioneer in the field of radioactivity and the first woman to receive a Nobel Prize. Her parents were both educators, and they instilled a love of learning in their children. Marie's father, a math and physics teacher, was especially influential in her early education. At the age of 18, Marie left Poland and went to Paris to study at the Sorbonne. She worked as a governess and tutor to support herself while she pursued her studies in physics and mathematics. Despite facing many obstacles as a woman in the male-dominated scientific community, Marie excelled in her studies and earned a degree in physics in 1893 and a degree in mathematics the following year. In 1894, Marie met Pierre Curie, a French physicist who was also studying the properties of magnetism and electricity. The two fell in love and were married in 1895. They worked together on their research and made significant contributions to the field of radioactivity. In 1898, they discovered two new radioactive elements, which they named polonium and radium. Marie and Pierre's work on radioactivity earned them a Nobel Prize in Physics in 1903, making Marie the first woman to receive a Nobel Prize. In 1911, Marie received a second Nobel Prize, this time in chemistry, for her discovery and isolation of radium and polonium. Throughout her career, Marie faced many challenges, including discrimination and harassment as a woman in science. She persevered, however, and her contributions to the field of radioactivity have had a lasting impact on scientific research. Marie Curie died on July 4, 1934, from aplastic anemia, a disease caused by prolonged exposure to radiation. Her legacy continues to inspire women in science and has helped to shape our understanding of the physical world. Here is some additional information about Marie Curie's life. Marie Curie's childhood was marked by tragedy and hardship. She was the youngest of 5 children, and her mother died when she was just 10 years old. Despite this, Marie was an excellent student and graduated from high school with top honors at the age of 15. After her father lost his job as a teacher due to his political beliefs, Marie was unable to afford to attend university in Poland. Instead, she moved to Paris, where she lived with her sister and brother-in-law and worked as a governess while studying at the Sorbonne. Marie's work on radioactivity was not without controversy. Some scientists questioned her methods and results, and she faced criticism for her gender and nationality. Nevertheless, she persisted in her research and continued to make important discoveries. In addition to her scientific work, Marie was a devoted mother to her 2 daughters, Irene and Eve. After Pierre's death in 1906, Marie was left to raise her children alone and took on additional teaching duties to support her family. During World War I, Marie played a significant role in the development of mobile X-ray units that were used to diagnose injuries and treat wounded soldiers on the front lines. She trained hundreds of women to operate the machines and traveled to the front lines herself to provide medical assistance. After the war, Marie continued her scientific work and became the first woman to become a professor at the Sorbonne. She also established the Curie Institutes, which are still renowned research institutions today. Marie Curie's contributions to science and medicine were recognized in her lifetime. She received numerous awards and honors, including becoming the first woman to be awarded the Legion of Honor in France. Marie Curie's scientific work had a significant impact on the field of medicine. Marie's contributions to science were not limited to her work on radioactivity. She also made important discoveries about the properties of materials, including the phenomenon of fluorescence, which is the ability of certain substances to emit light when exposed to radiation. Despite her achievements, Marie faced significant challenges throughout her life. As a woman in the male-dominated scientific community, she often faced discrimination and harassment. Her husband Pierre was initially hesitant to work with her, but he recognized her talent and eventually became her collaborator and partner. Marie also faced criticism for her relationship with a married man, physicist Paul Langevin. Their affair became public knowledge in 1910, and Marie was subjected to intense scrutiny and criticism. Despite the scandal, she remained committed to her work and continued to make important contributions to science. In addition to her scientific work, Marie was an advocate for women's rights and served as the president of the International Federation of University Women. She also worked to establish scholarships and fellowships for women in science. Marie's dedication to her work ultimately took a toll on her health. She suffered from radiation exposure and was diagnosed with leukemia in 1934. She died later that year at the age of 66. Marie Curie's scientific work led to many practical applications beyond medicine. For example, her discoveries about the properties of radium led to the development of a luminescent paint that was used on watches, instrument dials, and airplane controls during World War II. This paint, known as radium paint, contained radioactive material and was later found to be hazardous to the health of the workers who applied it. In addition to her scientific achievements, Marie Curie was a skilled educator. She taught physics and chemistry at a girls' school in Poland before moving to Paris, where she worked as a tutor and later as a lecturer at the École Normale Supérieure. She was known for her dedication to her students and her ability to explain complex scientific concepts in a clear and accessible way. Marie's scientific work also had a significant impact on the field of nuclear physics. Her discovery of polonium and radium helped to pave the way for the development of nuclear energy and the atomic bomb. While Marie was a pacifist and opposed the use of atomic weapons, her work on radioactivity laid the foundation for many of the technological advances of the 20th century. Despite her many achievements, Marie faced significant personal challenges throughout her life. Her husband Pierre died in a tragic accident in 1906, leaving her to raise their 2 daughters alone. She also faced financial difficulties and had to rely on the support of friends and colleagues to continue her scientific work. Despite these challenges, Marie remained dedicated to her work and her family. She was known for her quiet determination and her ability to overcome obstacles. Her legacy continues to inspire scientists and women around the world, and her contributions to science and society will be remembered for generations to come. Marie Curie's scientific work was not without controversy. She faced criticism from some scientists who questioned her methods and results, and she was also subjected to discrimination and harassment due to her gender and nationality. However, Marie persisted in her research and was eventually recognized for her contributions to science. Marie's scientific discoveries had practical applications beyond medicine and industry. For example, her work on radioactivity helped to establish the concept of atomic number, which is still used in the periodic table of elements today. She also discovered that the radioactive decay of atoms could be used to determine the age of rocks and minerals, a technique that is still used in geology and archaeology. In addition to her scientific work, Marie was a devoted mother to her 2 daughters, Irene and Eve. She instilled in them a love of science and encouraged them to pursue their own interests and passions. Irene went on to become a Nobel laureate in chemistry, following in her mother's footsteps. Marie was also a dedicated humanitarian. During World War I, she worked tirelessly to develop mobile X-ray units that could be used to diagnose and treat injuries on the battlefield. She trained hundreds of women to operate the machines and personally traveled to the front lines to provide medical assistance. Despite her many accomplishments, Marie was often reluctant to receive recognition and praise for her work. She was known for her humility and her belief that scientific discoveries were a collective effort that required the contributions of many people. Marie Curie's life and work continue to be celebrated and studied today. She remains an inspiration to scientists and women around the world, and her contributions to science, medicine, and society will be remembered for generations to come. Marie Curie's scientific work on radioactivity was groundbreaking, but it also had unintended consequences for her health. She and her husband Pierre were exposed to high levels of radiation during their experiments, and both suffered from radiation sickness. Marie later developed health problems that were likely related to her exposure, including cataracts and a weakened immune system. Despite her health issues, Marie continued to work tirelessly in the field of radioactivity. She founded the Radium Institute in Paris in 1914, which later became the Curie Institute, a leading center for cancer research. She also continued to advocate for the peaceful use of atomic energy and worked to raise awareness about the dangers of radiation exposure. Marie's achievements in science and medicine earned her numerous honors and awards, including the Nobel Prize in Physics and the Nobel Prize in Chemistry. She was the first woman to receive a Nobel Prize and the first person to receive 2 Nobel Prizes in different fields. Marie's legacy also includes her contributions to the feminist movement. She was a strong advocate for women's education and professional opportunities, and she was actively involved in organizations that promoted these goals. She also challenged traditional gender roles and stereotypes, both through her scientific work and her personal life. Marie Curie passed away in 1934 at the age of 66. She left behind a legacy of scientific achievement, humanitarianism, and advocacy for women's rights that continues to inspire people around the world today. Marie Curie's life was marked by many personal tragedies and challenges. Her husband Pierre died in a tragic accident in 1906, leaving her to raise their 2 daughters, Irene and Eve, on her own. She also faced financial difficulties and discrimination as a woman in the male-dominated field of science. Despite these challenges, Marie remained committed to her work and continued to make groundbreaking discoveries in the field of radioactivity. She was also deeply involved in social and political issues, particularly related to the use of atomic energy and the role of science in society. Marie's dedication to her work and her values earned her numerous honors and awards, but she remained humble and focused on her research. She was known for her tireless work ethic and her commitment to scientific inquiry, and she inspired generations of scientists and women to pursue their passions and make a difference in the world. Marie's legacy also includes her contributions to the development of cancer treatments. The Radium Institute that she founded in Paris became a leading center for cancer research, and her work on radioactivity helped to establish new methods for treating cancer and other diseases. Marie Curie's life was a testament to the power of dedication, perseverance, and a commitment to making a difference in the world. Her legacy continues to inspire people around the world to pursue their passions and make a positive impact on society. Marie Curie's life and work continue to inspire generations of scientists and women. Her contributions to science, medicine, and women's rights have had a lasting impact on society and will continue to do so for generations to come. In conclusion, Marie Curie was a remarkable scientist and humanitarian whose contributions to science, medicine, and society continue to inspire people around the world. Through her groundbreaking work on radioactivity, she paved the way for numerous technological advances and established new concepts in physics and chemistry. She was also a devoted mother, a tireless advocate for women's education and professional opportunities, and a champion for the peaceful use of atomic energy. Despite facing numerous challenges and obstacles throughout her life, she remained dedicated to her work and her values, leaving behind a legacy that will be remembered for generations to come. Thank you for watching. If you would like to obtain the documents that contain the texts we use in the videos, please help us with a subscription on our Patreon page. You will also help us to continue making more videos. Learning personal development will give you peace and well-being in your life. Please subscribe and give it a like if you liked it. Don't forget to check the video description to find more information that may interest you. Learn English with personal development. Goodbye.